Saturday morning. So thank you so much for being here today. Your presence today enables us in VietNamWorks to create a community of open sharing and mutual learning. In VietNamWorks now, we believe not only in successful hiring, because many people in Vietnam think that VietNamWorks is about recruitment. I'm here today to relay a message that we're organizing these kinds of events and expos, and there will be more to come later this year and 2016. Because in VietNamWorks, we believe that we want to be a part of your success beyond the point of entry. And with that, I am so excited because as an entrepreneur and as a marketer, the first topic for today is really one of my personal favorites. Something related to mobile apps. And we're very lucky because our speaker today is not only an expert in the field, he has a hands-on entrepreneurial experience, and most importantly, he is a professional trainer and mentor, all in one. And trust me, that is very difficult to find for us marketers to have that kind of speaker. So with that, I would like to say again, thank you so much to our partners, our job seekers as we call it, but most importantly, I hope today will be equally beneficial for you as it is for us in VietNamWorks. Thank you so much, and have a good day.
Thank you so much. Okay, before we start our main program today, I'd like to announce an exciting game. You can take a picture at this event and share it on your Facebook timeline and with the hashtag TechInsiderExpo at VietNamWorks.com. You will receive a package gift at VietNamWorks booth, so you can start sharing your pictures about the event right now. Now, let's move on to the main program. Coming from an entrepreneurial background, having been involved with high-tech and internet startups across the world, and being an entrepreneurship community leader in Europe, TOMA has clear understanding of the challenges involved in the building sustainable businesses from the ground up. In the years following his graduation from a top MBA program, he started focusing more on enterprise innovation management, specifically on how disrupt new ventures can build in a corporate setting. Please give a big hand for Mr. TOMA.
Morning. Oh, this is on. Awesome. This is all cool. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Okay. Everybody's alive. This is the best part of presenting at 9:30 because everybody's alive. So my presentation is about mobile teams and how are you able to streamline the process of deployment. But before we jump into the presentation, I just want to make sure that I'm in front of the right audience. How many people here are in mobile development? Oh, yeah, I'm on the right stage. Okay, that's good. That's good. Being on the right stage is always helpful. Yes, there's a lot of... This works? Yes, now it works. Now, there's a lot of complicated words in the title. And the reason for complicated words is because I work in an enterprise environment. So, working in an enterprise environment, using complicated words always helps. The idea of the presentation is that I'm not going to give you much of the theory, but I'm just going to tell you a story about how I was able to change the product and change the processes of the company I was working for. So let's just start by asking one question. Why do you think is important to have continuous deployment? Or are you familiar with the term of continuous deployment? Let's just start with that. Show of hands. Show of hands for yes. Continuous deployment. Do you know what that is? Yes. We have one guy now. Okay, cool. That's good. So continuous deployment means you are delivering code, you're delivering value to your user on a continuous basis. So you're not just delivering it once every month or every 2 months or every 5 months. You're just delivering on an ongoing basis, on a daily basis, even on an hourly basis.
companies like Amazon, companies like Etsy, companies like Google or Facebook are mastering this. So they're able to release code, they're able to release value on a continuous, ongoing basis. Why do you think this is important? Why do you think we need to be able to release with such a speed? Instead of just developing a package for 6 months and then shipping it, and then developing the next package for 6 months and then shipping it. The idea is that with continuous mobile development, and mobile development, I say just because I'm focusing on mobile, but in general, continuous deployment, be it web, be it mobile, doesn't matter, it serves the following needs. So you get fast feedback loops. You're not just developing and then waiting, you're just iterating at speed. You're just able to understand the value that you're delivering, if that's actual value or not, on an ongoing fast basis. Then you have rapid market creation. You're able to create a small market super fast if you're releasing really fast. You have fast innovation cycles. Again, it's all about speed. You have less bugs, because if you're able to ship faster, that means that you're not able to ship a big package. Not shipping a big package means that you're going to have less bugs to worry about. So it's less bugs. And then you have improved customer satisfaction, because everybody wants to be heard. So if there's something in the App Store saying, hey, your app is great, but this is missing, this is missing, this is missing, that person will be super happy if in 1 week you're able to make a new release solving those problems. And of course, you don't need to figure it out on an individual basis, but you can look at it from a group of users. If a lot of users are complaining about that particular feature not being there or that particular bug being there, you can definitely address this if you're releasing small packages in like fast increments. So since you guys are from mobile development, most of you are, I'm going to show you how a typical mobile team looks like. If there's something that I'm missing, just raise your hand saying, hey, Dad, you just missed another. Then 8 months, we were able to build the most engaging news app in Germany. Why? Because we were able to release faster than any of our competitors. Any of our competitors were releasing probably once a month. We were already twice as fast as they were, just by having another process. We were not superhumans. We were not the best coders. I was not the best product owner, by far not the best. There are so many other great people out there. My coders were not the best coders. They were not hired by Google, by Facebook, by Twitter. It's just random corporate guys. But we were able, through a process, to change the entire way we looked at the app. And we changed the odds of our app. So this is about what I did. Now, I want to hear questions from you. If you have questions in Vietnamese, I'm sure that somebody here will translate it into a language that I speak, specifically English.
Và không biết ở đây có anh chị nào đã có câu hỏi và đặt ra cho Nam để phần này không ạ?
Questions? Yes, there's a question in the back. Oh, there's another question. So it seems the back is more engaged. There's one there, there's two there, one there. Why is design lost? So design was lost because, thinking from a design perspective, backend, the guys with the server, needed to see the interaction of the app in order to develop what's happening on the server side. So design already needed to finish their mock-ups before they were able to talk with backend development. So they needed to know everything what was to happen in the app. If you click this button, if you swipe down, if you swipe up, everything needed to know how the app loads. This is all part about UI and UX. And they needed to have their homework done before they were able to meet backend. And why backend was there? It's because they need to have their homework done before they were able to talk with frontend. And of course, testing cannot do it without frontend and backend and design. Does this answer?
simple here. Because actually we can separate out the paragraph in the command, the command code.
Yeah. So again, they were separated. They were separated. They were individual teams, and again, they were working on the same app, but they were picking user stories from the future because they needed to have that done before they were able to talk with the other team. They needed to have everything done before they were able to talk. So again, remember the exercises we did? The guy needed to have all the user stories done before he was able to pass it on. He was not able to do it without having everything done. This is kind of like a waterfallish type of thing you might just say, because hey, I need to have it done and just ship it. And again, it's part of Agile's definition of done. What do you define done? Thank you very much. Yeah, there's a question there.
Yes, so I have two questions. The first one is about the continuous deployment, and the second one is about the infrastructure and the tools to do it. So the first one is how you define the continuous deployment. Is a methodology or a experience, best experience or whatever you define for this continuous deployment.
So on that I say, I think that continuous deployment is more of a mindset than it is anything else. You have to have the right mindset to see the advantages of shipping code on a continuous basis. So it's not necessarily a methodology, I think it's just a way of delivering code. You can deliver it continuous or not continuous. You can do that. I think it's more of a mindset. Again, mindset is needed to understand the benefits. Again, we just covered that in the first slide of the presentation, like rapid market creation, responding to customer feedback, lower bug numbers, basically. So all of that, that's part of the mindset of continuous deployment.
So we may want to change, you may know about the continuous deployment and I want to change it to my team, so how I can do that? Because if it is just the mindset and how I can, transfer the knowledge about this one into my other member of my team.
The way I sold continuous deployment to my team was talking about their frustrations. Because most of the time, development teams, being web or mobile, they have a lot of frustration. They're super frustrated. Hey, I need to wait on him, and it has a lot of bugs and all that stuff. And I just packaged it knowing that, hey, if we try out this process, we're no longer going to be frustrated. We're no longer going to hate each other. We're going to be friends and can go out for a beer at 5 o'clock. And we're not going to spend the nights in the office because we need to do bug fixing. This was the way I sold it to them.
And when I know they're ready to be able to start working, follow the continuous deployment. So when I know my team is ready able to start working, follow this one.
Are you using Agile development at the moment in your teams?
So we are using the Agile right now.
So it's definitely the team is ready. Definitely the team understands the benefit of this if they are already using Agile mobile development. So they're definitely ready. It's just the way, if you change the process, they need to understand that the change is going to be beneficial for them. And also, if you're thinking about a larger enterprise like I was in, a change of a process results in a change of culture. So I was able to actually impact the culture of not only my team, but other teams on the same floor with me, because they were seeing us not being frustrated with each other. So then, hey, how do you do it? This is how we do it. And a lot of other teams started using, like we had 100 developers. They started using this, and then all of a sudden, they were way happier. So again, it's part of the culture. Yeah?
Yeah, that's exactly. Okay. So my second question is about the infrastructure and the tools, the support to do the continuous deployment. So we use a system named version 1. I don't know whether you know version 1. We have the system to keep track all of the epic and backlog item and user story. We do everything on the version 1. But I know that for the infrastructure, you may have other tools.
I can't remember what was the Rally. We were using Rally for our backlogs. I don't know if you are familiar with the tool or not. Again, it's not a question of tools. If you're using a tool for Agile development at the moment, that tool is more than enough. again, it's up to you as the owner, the product owner, or the CEO of the company. I don't know what's your position there. It's up to you to say, hey, you should not work on the same thing that he's working on because your design and your back end or your front end, you should work ahead of us. You should go into the backlog and find user stories that we wanted to develop for October, or not even October, December. Pick out those and start using those. Because by the time you're going to be finished, the guy that's working back end is going to be asking for that. So you already have all the tools that you need. We were not changing anything on our tools. We're just changing our mindset. Our mindset of looking at the problems and of course, prioritization of features. The 2x2 I showed you. Again, this is really, and that 2x2 was not a tool, was just a drawing on a whiteboard with Post-it. So if that's a tool, you can call it a tool. I don't call it a tool, I just call it a drawing on a whiteboard.
Okay, and this one is way more effective for the product development than the outsourcing, like for software development, right?
If you are in outsourcing, you have to convince your customers first that this is a way to go forward. Because usually what outsourcing, I used to run a company that was doing outsourcing. And the problem is that customers wanted to have the entire package shipped by the agreed date. So you're not able to do small increments. This is more useful if you're owning your own product. Like I would say the big sponsor of today, like VietNamWorks. VietNamWorks, they own their own product. So for them, they can definitely employ them because for them, smaller iterations are beneficial. Whether with, if you're in outsourcing, you have to convince the end customer that, hey, actually not delivering a huge amount of user stories, it's better than, it's better than just delivering the entire package at once. So again, you have to convince them. And a lot of people will push back on that because they do not understand, probably they don't come from development background or product background or agile or anything like that. So again, they will push back, but it's up to you as the owner of the company to explain it to your customer that, hey, actually it's easier for us to build a successful product. It's not about building a product, it's about building a successful product if we release 1 user story. Because if you release just 1 user story, you're able to track the behavioral change of the customer. And you're going to know specifically that they change their behavior because of that feature that you just released. If you're releasing 10 features and they change their behavior, you don't have a crystal ball to tell me why they change their behavior. It can be one of the 10, or it can be a combination of 2, or 3, or 5, or just 1 feature. But if you're just sending 1 feature at a time, and you see their behavior changing or not changing, you're able to see what value is. So hey, send 1 feature, no change. Because we have a tracking system for that. And we're using cohorts and we're seeing if their user behavior changed. Should be 1 feature. No, nothing changed. Okay, we can totally kill that feature in the future. We're not going to do a follow-up on that. Because nobody changed their behavior. But hey, they totally changed their behavior on this. Let's just put in the next release a follow-up. Then let's just make it better, faster, whatever. So that's again, it's again mindset. And if you're in outsourcing, you need to convince your customer first that this is beneficial. Good luck with that. Thank you. We have another question here, in the back, yeah.
Thank you for the info. I have a question about we have multiple teams here running different different release. And I just wonder what are the criteria and how and when you define it at the beginning of the release or something to define that each team has finished their work.
Okay.
Yeah. There are different things run continuously or
sure.
So something with class or each other.
It's a really good question. Thank you for that. So basically, we're talking here about what's known in Scrum as DoD, and it's not Department of Defense. It's just definition of done. So a lot of people claim that they have done what they're done with the package. They finished coding this, but they're actually not done. The way I did it is that I was empowering the team. I said, and it's again, this is my style of management. Probably other managers will prefer other styles. They will want to control that. I didn't want to control that. I was just giving free hand to my team. to do whatever. I just said that they are accountable for the product. Everybody was accountable. I was not the one accountable. Yes, I'm a product owner. I'm the one going to meetings with vice presidents and all of those guys. But at the end of the day, they are as accountable for the bugs or for this app as I was. And again, by empowering them and telling them they're actually not just coders, they are part of the product, they started to become better. Another way in which I empowered them is that all the prioritization was done in a team. I didn't do the prioritization myself. I said like, okay, today we're going to have a meeting on prioritization. Everybody take a sit. This is the 2x2. These are the features that we were listing out features on post-its and we're putting them on table. And we're just picking one and say, hey, where do you position this? Would you position it in hard, easy, impact, low impact, high impact, whatever. So everybody was empowered and everybody was heard. We had a bucket. It was actually a bucket, like a physical bucket, where everybody in the team can throw in improvement ideas. And everybody was just throwing on an ongoing basis improvement ideas. We're just picking up from the bucket once every, I think, 2 weeks. And we're looking at, hey, let's improve this. What do you think about this improvement? And then everybody was like, yeah, that's easy to do. We can do it in probably 1 day or 2 days. Okay, easy. High impact or low impact. Okay, let's go down. And since there was no name on that, there was no pointing fingers. So, hey, that feature of yours, that's not going to fly. Or my feature, that's better because I'm product owner. So I know I'm smarter than you are. So no, we didn't do anything like that. We just try to empower everybody. And then, of course, definition of that went up. Like everybody was accountable for everything. But this is a really big concern, especially when you're running a super huge team like 100 men, all that stuff. It's super big. And again, it all boils down to human resources. I think human resources is the most important asset that the company has. If you have poor employees, you can use all the tools in the world, all the methodology in the world is not going to increase your chances of success, your odds of success. No matter how many tools you have. You can bring the best consultants in the world. If you have bad employees, you have bad developers, it's not going to change a thing. You're going to be still the same. So I think you should look at your team first and then pick out the tool or methodology to use. Again, I don't know if you're a product owner, CEO, or whatever is your job title, but I think human resource in general, talking human resource is an important asset of this. Other questions? By the way, does this answer?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah? Okay. Other questions? Yes, there's one there. This is in the back more engaged. Or is it cooler in the back?
Xin lỗi, có thể hỏi bằng tiếng Việt không? Nó cũng không... Tức là theo tôi thấy là chẳng hạn như là một thiết kế một cái chương trình mới hay là một cái dự án mới và dự bán hoàn toàn mới với các chuyên gia hay là với một công ty. Vậy thì không biết là có một viên nào hay có một công thức nào cho việc hoạch định những công việc cần phải làm, hoạch định khoảng thời gian và hoàn thành, cũng như là hoạch định các nguồn lực. Bởi vì khi mà một dự án thì bao giờ cũng là cùng tất cả nguồn lực, gồm có tài chính, con người, phương tiện và có thể là các cái nguồn lực bên ngoài nữa. Vậy thì không biết là có cái lời khuyên hay là có cái công thức nào nói hay không?
So when we start a new project, a new plan, so can you give advice on using or planning all the resources, human resources or any other resources to make it work well?
Okay, so plan and organize your human resources. I think you need to look at their skills. But I think before you look at human resources, I think you have to look at what your company is. And what does your company stand for? What's the vision? The idea is that you have to have mindset as the bedrock for everything you do. If you have mindset as the bedrock, then you're able to train skills. Skills are not that important. Mindset is far, far more important than skills are. Skills is something that you can train. You can send them to an iOS development course. You can have them go online and research some problems and they're going to solve it. But you have to hire for mindset if you have a strong culture in your team. If you have a strong culture in your company, have a strong culture in your company and you have a great vision, then you have to have people that fit that vision. They have to fit the company on a cultural perspective. And that skills we're going to follow. And skills can be developed. Honestly, we can train monkeys to fly spacecraft. And I'm sure we can train somebody to develop iOS, no offense. Again, it's important to have the right mindset. Because without the right mindset, people will not understand, hey, why do I need to develop every 2 weeks? I just need to develop once a month, deploy once a month. I don't want to deploy every 2 weeks, there's too much pressure. If they consider that too much pressure, it's definitely a mindset issue. And you need to get rid of that particular individual and hire somebody with the right mindset. And unfortunately, there's no solution to that. You just have to talk with them, try to understand where they come from, try to understand what they did in previous jobs, what motivates them, what doesn't motivate them, and then go from there. I don't know if this answers. Yes, no? Yes? Okay. Please use the mic.
I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
I think it's hard.
It's super difficult.
Yeah, it's super difficult. I think that's super difficult.
I can tell you a story from when I had my company. I was working back in 2009. I was working with Microsoft, and Microsoft was using my company to develop something for SharePoint server. And I had to hire people because the contracts were quite big. I was like in outsourcing back then. And what was really interesting is that I had one guy in front of me. The CV didn't say much, but I usually do not churn CVs. I just like to talk with a lot of people. And he was sitting in front of me. And I asked him, hey, do you know about SharePoint servers? Like, I have no freaking clue what that is. Like, hey, have you coded in .NET before? Oh, I know .NET. I heard about .NET, but have you actually coded in .NET? Nah, I haven't done that. But then I talked to him about stuff like, hey, what do you do in your pastime? And he told me that he likes to learn new stuff. And he just learned how to play the guitar. And it was during the summer that I met him, and he was trying to get his driver license for a motorbike. So I said, oh, this guy can learn a lot. There were a lot of things during his past that indicated to me that he's a great learner. And I said, okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a risk with you. I'm going to hire you, come in Monday, and sit with these guys, the experienced guys, and they're going to talk you through .NET and SharePoint Server. So he came in Monday, said, hey, here you go. That's your desk, that's your computer, go ahead, code. Didn't know much, but I'm telling you, and I'm not joking, I'm not overly doing this. In 3 weeks' time, he was my lead developer for the Microsoft contract. I was sending him to meet Microsoft and discuss about the future of the development. He was that good because what I saw in him was the ability to learn and his ability to surpass himself. So again, I was not talking about his features because that is his skills. Because those skills we developed over time. Yes, he was not the best one, but he was the one that I was always willing to trust with the most difficult tasks. Because I knew that he was just sitting there and learning how to solve it. Again, it's a mindset thing. I don't have a tool for that. I don't have a crystal globe, and I cannot help you other than just sharing with you my story. I don't know if this helps or not.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. We have time for one more question. Yeah.
Một câu hỏi ạ. Xin mời.
Do we have time for 2 more questions or 1 more question? Oh, that means we have time for more questions. Yes, I'm so happy there are questions. I usually don't get a lot of questions when I speak, but I'm so happy that I get questions. Yes, please.
Could you give me some slide or comment to measure the market size or evaluate market size when you start a project to develop application to publish on App Store?
Okay, so evaluate market size. The best thing to do is to get out and talk with some customers. Go out and talk with some customers and say, hey, how's it going? And then find if there's anybody out there basically fitting your desired need. Like you have an idea of a need, and you just have to validate it, like how many people are there. Another trick will be to go on Google and find out how high a certain string of keywords is ranked. So if basically what you're learning is, are people looking for this? Are actually people looking to, I don't know, bathing suits for hamsters. If you just go on Google and type in bathing suits for hamsters, I'm sure you're going to find a way. It's in the keywords. You're going to see how high that was searched. Was it super high search or super low? Another way to do it is to go on Google, go and the AdSense, and put in your keywords, and then Google will shoot back a value for that keywords. How much money do you need to pay for that one click for hamster bathing suits? If the value is low, that means that there's not a lot of people looking for that. So it's another way to assess need. Another way is to go on Facebook and do the same thing as on Google. There's so many tutorials out there that can help you with market sizing. What you can also do, you can look at competitors. Say, for example, I did this exercise recently with the team in Hanoi, and the exercise was the following. They said they wanted to import the BMW i8 car. Do you know the BMW i8? How many of you know the car, the i8? Yeah, not a lot of people. So the i8 is the most expensive, the most technologically developed car that BMW has in their product range. It's an electric car, looks super, super cool. It's like a spacecraft, honestly. And it's fully electric. And they said, we want to import this into Vietnam because we think it's a huge market. And I said, yeah, you think it's a huge market? Yeah, because electric cars, all that stuff. And I said, okay, let's just do a market sizing. How did we do market sizing? We just looked at the auto register in Vietnam. How many Teslas were registered in Vietnam? Guess how many Teslas are registered in Vietnam? None. Exactly 0 cars. And I said, what do you think? Why do you think your i8 is going to be better? Because it's actually the same car. It's an electric car. It only runs on electric. Yeah. So it's only electric. So that's the analog of the i8. So if there's no Teslas, I don't think that your i8 business will work. And then he said, yeah, you're right. Actually, yeah, it doesn't work. And then he realized that there is a market for electric cars, but not for fully electric cars. It's a market for hybrids, like the Mercedes-Benz E-classes, all those guys, because they also have a petrol engine, not just the electric. So again, you can look at your competitors. You can go on Google, you can go on Facebook, AdSense, all that stuff. Answer? Thank you. Welcome. One more here in front. How are we doing on time?
One more question.
One more question. Okay, this is the last question. This should be like the best question ever. No pressure.
From the direct deployment can be applied to any web application project or mobile project. So based on your experience, can you suggest utility or special consideration when applied to mobile project?
Okay, so again, this was applied to mobile. I only applied to mobile. For people in the audience that are into web development, it will be so much more easier to do this. Why? Because with mobile development, once you're done, you have to send it to the App Store, and then it's going to take Apple any time from 5 days to 3 weeks to release your product to the user. So again, that's time that's wasted. Of course, it's not wasted because your developers can still work on the next release, but again, you're not in control. Whether with web, once you don't have this governance, they say, hey, you can only release every 2 weeks because this, and that, you can release on an ongoing basis, like every hour. So web development can do continuous deployment on a faster speed or on a faster pace than mobile development, the mobile teams. Etsy, for example, is releasing every 2 hours. You know Etsy? Etsy.com? Okay. Etsy.com is developing on a 2-hour basis. There are so many other companies in the US, specifically Silicon Valley, that develop, they deploy on 2-hour or 1-hour basis. So basically, once you're done with your code, it's shipped to the user. Facebook is doing that brilliantly, and they're doing a lot of experiments because of that. This basically enables them to do continuous experimentation. on the user side. So they change the way you see the timeline, they change the way ads are displayed, just to have that. Does this answer?
Thank you.
Cool. Okay. Thank you very much for your questions. It was a pleasure talking here. I'm hoping it was cooler there than it was here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your speech. And can you please remain on stage? And we have a very special part here. Kính thưa các anh chị, và bây giờ chúng ta sẽ kết thúc buổi hội thảo tại đây với một phần rất là thú vị, đó là xin mời các anh chị có thể cùng chụp một bức ảnh selfie cùng với Dan ở trên sân khấu và bằng một cái này sẽ là cái